All right, what is going on, everybody? My name is Giz, and welcome to a new series on the channel that I'm going to be calling From Zero. And the way this is going to work is I'm going to be attempting to help you as a main establish your account monetarily, not necessarily your stats and your quests and all that. I'm going to leave that up to you, but I'll sort of give you a rough estimation of what I would be doing if I had another main account that I was building. And I have divided this series up into tiers. So I'm going to put a screenshot of my little notepad here. And this is just current plans. And the reason I want to reveal this unto you is because in the comment section below, leave me a comment if you have any other ideas, or if you have sort of maybe a restriction that you would like me to do, or something that I should explain more, or if you think these are a little bit too forgiving, a little bit too steep, you know, whatever it may be. Hi, this is going to be a little like not post editing, but post recording. I'm going to make an own edit for myself. I'm not going to make the easy tier take that long, because what I wanted that to be was just like the no to low requirement moneymakers. And while you can stay there for 25 million GP if you wanted to, I sort of want to move on from it a little bit faster. So I'm just going to have this first episode be for the accounts that are like fresh off of a bond, like members for the first time, maybe you're like 30s to 60 stats. What I did in this video is I remained at 60 stats for the most part. I wiggled a little bit here and there to just give myself like, 65 farming, I think was the biggest thing. And then a couple of like easy quests I had access to and all that kind of stuff. I tried to be as restricted as possible in the sense that I wanted it to be no to low requirement moneymakers that anybody could access at any time. It just takes like 30 minutes to unlock it, maybe for one of the methods. And then, a little bit of training, a little bit of questing here and there, which I imagine you shouldn't be worried about making money until you have done questing and training and all of that stuff. So that's what we're doing with episode 1. Episode 2, we're going to add some PVM. So there'll be no PVM in this episode. So those of you that don't like PVM, you just like skilling and no requirement collecting, all that kind of stuff, this is for you. So enjoy it. That was my own modification for this. Let me know if you have any more in the comment section below. The other reason I broke it into these tiers is I'm going to do easy and medium clue scrolls at 0 to 25. I'm going to do hard clue scrolls at 25 to 50. I'm probably going to skip elites at 50 to 100, but they technically unlock. Maybe I'll just do masters at like 75 mil or something like that. I'll put them in one of those tiers. I wanted to divvy up the clue scrolls too, because sometimes those are worth doing. Sometimes they're not. If you want to be a gambler, be a gambler. Anyways, let's get going. I'm not going to put a timer on this or anything. This is going to be day 1 of starting it. And the way I'm going to work this, let me go start running to my first thing while I keep speaking. I'm gonna set off on one of my first favorite low requirement moneymaker. You could probably argue that this is a middle of the road moneymaker, but I'm gonna be completely honest. It does not take long to get here. I did it on a fresh Iron Man, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and it probably took me 3 hours. It was like a couple quests and then some skilling along the side, and I was there. So that's an early game moneymaker to me, and I'm going to go run to it as fast as I possibly can. But I also wanted to mention that any money that I do make, I will be immediately converting into platinum tokens, because I want to keep it separate from my bank. And that I'm only going to do that if I have to bank the GP. Most of the time I'm going to keep the GP on me so we can sort of keep a track of what we are doing at every given moment. And I'm also going to assume that I have about like, I'm going to say base 60s. We're going to say my account has base 60s right now. That's what I'm going to be working with, because I don't think you should be focusing on making money until about that point. You should be doing your quests, getting your account established as far as stats go. Stats are always the most important thing. They will help you in the long run. That's what I would be going for. I wouldn't worry about anything else until you have those base 60s. So let me get to my first location, and I will tell you guys what we're doing. This might give you guys a little bit of a spoiler of where we're going at this point, but I was just thinking about skilling outfits. I think I'm going to put skilling outfits in the medium tier. So that 25 to 50 mil tier, I think that's when I will get skilling outfits. And this method will become a lot better once I do have the skilling outfits. But all I really need for this is some establishing coinage. I don't need anything crazy right now. So all I'm going to do is run over to these wealthy citizens, and I'm just going to get to work. All right. Established GP. Let me purchase that for a second. 136. Purchased. Now I'm going to get a little bit strange. I have seen this method many a time, and I am curious if it has fallen off, and if it has, I have a correction that we can do potentially. And here we are. Okay. We successfully burned through all of our GP for nearly 4,000 steel nails. Remember, we started at 11,000 GP. Let's see what we walk out with. Well, definitely don't do this. Okay, never mind. 36.3k. Okay, bit of a yikes, but I think we're okay. So the next thing I want to do is establish a passive income. So I'm going to buy exactly 5 Avanto seeds. And you might be wondering, dude, you have 99 farming. What the hell are you talking about? I can't do this. That's true. I do have 99 farming. But what I'm going to do instead is scale back the amount of patches that I'm doing. I'm going to do the 5 basic patches, and I'm going to show you the ones that we want to do. So we want to have our magic secateurs. And also, guys, just for like sake of brevity for the video, I'm going to give myself full graceful. This doesn't like give me anything. It's just going to like help me run. So it doesn't take like 50 years, okay? I want to establish the principle for you guys. I don't want to actually not be able to run around and show you guys the things that you need to do. Anyway, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to spring for Ultra Compost. Easily spring for Ultra Compost. Don't bank that. Collect that. Okay. Now, I might have some patches already growing. That's fine. The main one that we always want to do, if you don't have your memoirs, your Koretz memoirs from the quest lines for Kourend, make sure you go get it, and then you can reminisce to go to the Hosidius house. If you can't do this, you can also move your house to the Hosidius house portal, which is what I have done. So what I'm going to do is buy a little house tile. And this is the first patch. If I have herbs here, I do not. Okay. Oh, wait. Guys, I didn't buy a rake. Pause. We're just going to do this. Let me know if you disagree with these rules, but, you know, I'm also going to hit this because who cares, right? Okay, back to what we were doing. This patch is important because this is a disease-free patch. I cannot remember if there's requirements on this, because it used to be you had to do the, like, the Kourend achievement diary thing, but I think they got rid of it. So I think you can just do this. And this is disease-free, so if you have a good herb for profit, make sure you go ahead and plant it in here. Avanto, for me right now, is the best thing. How am I checking that? We'll check this out right here. Okay, so over here on the wiki, they have the calculator farming herbs page. And what you can do, look yourself up, do what patches you're doing, check all the boxes that you have. I have the Harmony Island, I have the Civitas. So I would max this out if I had it. But what I did is I changed the Super Compost. I can't change this, but you would change this. I unfortunately cannot change this, but I will not be using this patch. I'm going to go to other ones so you guys can get a more accurate representation of your current passive income. And then as we scale up, we'll also scale our farm runs up and our birdhouse runs up. If you don't have your birdhouse runs established, go ahead and get those established as well, because you can get some bird nests out of there and you can get some lucky seeds out of there to get yourself a little bit of spare money along the way as well. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, it's tedious, but it is worth it to establish this early money. So check all these things that you can, and then scroll down here and sort it by profit per run, and make sure you put the one at the top, right? So Dwarf Wheat is technically better than Avanto, but Avanto falls into that early requirement that I had. So my base 60 stats, I can do this Avanto. So that's what we're planting right now. So let me go ahead and Ultra Compost to my thingy. Actually, I put Super Compost in the thing, but I was able to spring for Ultra Compost, so that's good. I'm going to keep the bucket as well because I want to sell that. So the next patches we're going to go to, I am just going to use my house here because, again, like, yes, I could buy teleports or whatever, but it's not going to matter very, very shortly. So I'm going to use, so these are 715 a piece, so I'll deposit 715 into my bank, and I'll grab my Ectofile. These are the next 2 that we're going to use. Everybody uses Catherby. Maybe I just use Catherby because I can. I'll use the RD for 743. You're going to want to buy multiple of these, of course. And then what's my last one? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just say I have 65. I said base 60s. Let's say we have 65. We would have an outlier farming stat, because if you're following this, you're probably going to have an outlier farming stat. So let us say we are using the farming guild. And I'm just going to go use my skills necklace over here. If you get mad about me not spending money on a skills necklace that I could sell back, that is okay. I'm just going to go to the farming guild. Let me clear out any herbs that I have over here. I do not, and then we're just going to get all of these planted. So remember with your herb runs that you can scale this up however you see fit. If you want to go do the Troll Stronghold quest line to get the Troll Stronghold one, if you want to go do the Weiss quest line to get the Weiss one, if you want to unlock the other Civitas Illa Fortis one, I'm not using that one because I believe it's also disease-free because I have the Colosseum wreck. So all of these things you can scale up to your own desire. I'm going to stick with 5. And then once we get to the medium tier, maybe I'll add 2 more. And then once we get to the hard tier, I'll add all 10. And I'll just say that I've done my due diligence. And if I want to keep doing my farm runs, once I have 75 mil, 50 mil, whatever it is, I can. But again, you don't have to do these for the whole time. This is just establishing income for you to get you to the next thing that you can do. Like, obviously, if I just went to CG right now, I could stay there for the rest of eternity and be fine. But I want to show you how to establish it. From any point in your account, you can just get this stuff rolling pretty quick. Okay, planted. Next thing we're going to do is something, again, that I haven't tried. So the steel nails were a bit of a flop. Let's see if this flops as well. Let's go to the GE. And what we're going to do, surprisingly, is buy iron bars. So reason being, I'm going to just buy 10 of them for now and see what's up. So that was 248 a piece. I'm going to buy a hammer for 85 GP. And I'm just going to go do a quick test. Who doesn't love the beautiful sound of the smithing anvil going ting 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 ting. Okay, while that test is testing, we're going to test another test. Enemy spotted. Okay. Check this one out. Desert goat horn, 25 GP. Goat horn dust. Tripled. Here we go. We're all in. Okay, we're done and dusted. And to prevent myself from getting more RSI, our iron dart tip sold too. But this is what we're after right here. Go down a little bit. That'll start slowly going. And what I want to do in the meantime, y'all know about jute fiber. There we go, perfect. Okay. This is going to be a really interesting one that I've never done before. And we're going to go all in on it if possible. Okay, just adjust the price a little bit. Now, follow me. I might get our birdhouses established. The only thing is I'm doing redwoods, and I don't know if they scale with the tier of birdhouse you do, like the reward scale with the tier of birdhouse you do. I'll have to check. If they don't, I will happily get my birdhouse, yes. My redwood birdhouse is going. But until then, check this little method out. Bank here, loom there, drift net time. Very low requirements. I think it's like 26 crafting and 29 construction to make this thing. And we're drift netting. Okay, moment of truth. Am I a bozo? Oh my. Oh my. Oh! I'm going Super Saiyan. We've over tripled our money with that one. It might just be like the way. But I'm going to immediately scale into a different moneymaker, and we can go back into that one. So stick around. It's about to get crazy. All right, we have our 272K. We're going to exchange. And since I went AFK, guess what I can do? I'm going to buy 5 more of these. I'm not going to overinvest on these just yet because I don't know how long I'm going to keep this up as far as farming goes, and if I'm going to scale it up later and worry more about it later. But for now, it's still worth my time, and then I will show you the crazy thing we're going to do in a moment. Okay, dropped all of our buckets. We do not need to be a stickler about buckets anymore. Let's go see. This took about 5 minutes to do this run. We input about 10,000 GP to do the run, and we are walking away with an extra 146K. Looks good to me. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do here, I'm going to carefully store everything, store my equipped, store the extra, store my spare change. We're going to then store all but 150, so we need to store 260 of it into our platinum token stack right there. Exchange this for 150K, and we're going to take a pretty big risk here. I've destroyed the looting bag in my bank, paid 1.5K for a teleport to the ice plateau, and we are going to see how much I can walk away with, or if I will simply perish at the Wilderness Agility Arena. Now, you get this at level 52 Agility, and it is probably your best moneymaker for a very long time. However, when you do this Agility course, you have the chance, and you risk the chance, of dying, right? So all of your hard work could just go to waste, which is not a good thing, and I haven't invested in any tank gear or anything. I'm just here. and we're going to see how it goes. I've changed all of my left clicks on the skeletons to walk here so I don't misclick anybody. We're going to open this looting bag, and we're going to hope that we can get to at least a 61 streak. If we get to a 61 streak, we want to hold that as long as we possibly can and make as much money as we can before we go back to the bank. So I'll see you at the end of this. We did it. 61. We keep going a little bit longer. Precisely an hour done. We're going to make a mad dash for the obelisk down there so we can get out of here. But we're going to get our final tag and final redeem here. Dunk all of our XP. Nice and pretty. 18k. And let's see if we can make it. This is going to be a little bit scurry. Okay, made it back to safety. Let's make it to the Drand Exchange. And let me take a screenshot of our spoils. Would you look at that? It really ramps up after you hit that 61. Take a little screenshot so I know what I've got. And I'm going to head to GE and get rid of it all. All right, and after everything is sold and we reclaimed our platinum tokens from the bank, 1.77 mil. That's pretty good. I can't quite do my herb run. We do have to wait a little bit on that, but we did happen to get a medium scroll box, so we could do that. However, I think we're going to keep the streak going and go on to the next thing. Now that we have some established capital that we can use, we should be able to scale this fairly well. Okay, we've had another little break. We're back with our 1.7 mil. And you know you know what that means. All right, brought in a nice average of 10 herbs per patch on that run. So that should be another like 150k in the bag. You might be wondering where we're going to go from here as far as the like low to no requirement moneymakers go. And I think I have a small idea. We don't need these. We don't need these. All we're going to need is a little bit of creativity. Before we get too invested in this method, watchtower teleporting, I am going to attempt to open the sinister chest. I forgot a slash weapon. BRB. Here, back at the watchtower. I'm just going to use the wieldy sword. It's fine. So, what this chest does is it guarantees us some herbs when we open the chest. I bought this for 23,700, so we just need to see if it's profitable by buying one key. If it is, we can slow buy these over time while we're doing other money-making methods, and then when they sell, we can come in here and get more money off of our money. See what I'm saying? And this is the no requirement, low requirement thing. So this, in theory, it's watchtower quest to do this, and then I'm using this just because it's the closest teleport to a bank, but you could use whatever teleport. You could buy Ring of Duelings, whatever. It's fine. Okay, we get poisoned, but it's fine. Let's go back to Deep Fin Point, and let's go back to the GE and see, because you get this loot guaranteed every single time, which is 3 Renars, which is kind of insane. So I'm just going to buy one of these. I've been not banking the like change that I've been making. Often when I convert platinum tokens, I just put it back in the bank. So I'm just going to assume I have enough change to just buy random teleports and stuff. Let's see what we got. It has to be more than 23.7 to make this worth. It's going to be close. Fuck, I have to do math. Okay, we surpassed it by like 5k, I think. We got 28,190, and we bought the Sinister Key for 23.7. So I'm going to leave a little bit of offers in here. Let's say like, let's get like 40 of these, and we'll buy for 23,750, and hopefully those will move. And while we still have a mil left, we're gonna kick it back to a little classic here. All right, we saved ourselves a little bit of money, and we are still doing fine on the Sinister Keys while they go. I am going to head myself on over to Al-Kharid. For those of you that are uninitiated or never played this game in your life, this is it's tanning dragon hides, dude. We have done this since the beginning of time. I'm actually going to trade him again. Save myself some time here. Oh, can you not change? I guess you can't change the left click on him. But yeah, this is it. We're just going to tan a bunch of these dragon hides really fast, run to the GE, run back, run to the GE, run back while the Sinister Keys are selling. And we should get a decent amount of profit. It's not going to take too long. Done with all the hides. Took about 5 minutes. Let's see what we walk away with, if anything at all. Maybe I made a big error in judgment. Let's see. Sinister Keys are moving. Let's drop this a little. and those should move while the sinister keys finish moving. All right, so in case you were curious, we made a little less than 100K in 5 minutes. So if you were able to scale this up, it's still pretty good. And I think you have to take away 20 GP per hide, so take away an additional about 7K from the profit, and you walk away with, you know, what is that, 80K? 80K in 5 minutes. 5 minutes by 12, 80K. It's about $1 million an hour for no requirement money-making method. All you need is the capital to, you know, keep it going, and then obviously buying some stamina potions here and there cuts into your profits a little bit, but again, overall decent method, you know. Classics stand the test of time. We have 29 keys here. I think what I'm going to do for the last couple of minutes while we're waiting is go back to those jute fibers, man. This was kind of an insane method, and we can afford so much more of them now. Remember, 2 of these makes 1 net. So I'm just going to buy like 200 of these while I'm waiting, just like chilling, and we'll see how far I can go off of that. And also, if you end up doing this, you can pull up on this little side tab in RuneLight, this little hand with the coins on it. It's your GE tracker, and it'll live update you about your GE offer. I'm just going to have this up while I'm doing jute fibers, and the moment it is completed, we're going to go turn those in. All right, so we just made a bunch of drift nets, and our sinister keys are coming in. I am just going to throw these at the wall, and those will go eventually. What I'm going to do is grab these sinister keys now. I'm going to turn them in and put a new offer in for sinister keys because I'm going to be AFK for a little bit. So then when I come back, I can do farm run, turn in a bunch of sinister keys, and get another huge influx of GP. Unfortunately, this is a really awkward amount of sinister keys, so I'm going to withdraw the full inventory. I'm going to put this away, and I'm going to get my 96 law runes back out that I had stored. And we are off to the watchtower to turn these in. I forgot the slash weapon again. Our drift nets sold, but I can't withdraw them. But I am going to store one of these. I'm going to grab the wildy sword again. Not going to wear it. And we are going to head back to the watchtower. Wasting some teleports, wasting GP. You might be wondering, dude, you have a full inventory of keys. How are you going to get your herbs, dude? How are you going to do that? How are you going to get your herbs out of this chest when you have a full inventory of keys? I'm going to tell you something really cool about this game. You can drop stuff. You can just pick it up later. Just make sure they don't despawn on you, because that would be really funny. And then we have to wait 10 ticks, and we can pick up all of our keys again. And we can open the chest. Pick up a key. So on and so forth. Also, you definitely want to bring an anti-poison with you. I just have 99 HP. So we'll see. If I get down to 40 HP, I died. You know, it is what it is. Also, if you are below level 90, these guys will attack you, because I believe the rule in this game is if you are over double an NPC's level, it will no longer be aggressive to you. So keep that in mind if you do end up doing the sinister keys, that you need some form of, you either need a hold, protect, melee, maybe wear some monk robes or something, hold, protect, melee the whole time, get you an anti-poison, you'll be good to go. Or if you're above level 90, you're also good to go. Why can't I open this chest? Oh, spam clicking it not allowed. That's what it is. My bad, dude. My bad. All right, I bought an antidote for 1652. Let's go open these last 6, and then let's go sell. I lied. Our full GE offer finished. Let's go collect the rest. There we go. Now we go back to the watchtower, and then we sell. Okay, I accidentally whacked that skeleton, so I had to put protect melee on. Let us go see what the spoils of war are, and then I'm going to put in another offer for a bunch of sinister keys, because I know it's profitable. I'm going to let it vibe. I'm going to go get lunch. I'm going to take like an hour, go do something else IRL, and we'll come back to it. But I also need to withdraw my platinum tokens. Let's exchange that for GP. Yes, and then let's collect our drift nets, and then let's sell all this stuff off. And let's see what we walk away with. Watch this. Look at the Renards, dude. Oh my god. And the big collecto. Here we go. Boom. Ooh, dude. I would love to do the math for you guys. Someone can go back in the recording, but I'm going to do the math for you guys. Let me do the math. Okay, so we bought the Sinister Keys for 950k, and we walked away with 1.127 million GP. So that means we profited roughly 170k, and that was off of 40 keys. Did you know that in doing this method, you could probably open like 400 keys an hour? So what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to put in a full offer for some sinister keys, and I'm just going to let it ride for the next little bit while I go do some stuff IRL, and we are going to see how far we can ride this wave to get ourselves our fully established GP so that next episode we can go ahead and get into some early to medium game PVMing. Okay, we didn't quite finish our Sinister Key purchase. I had like an 80 offer in and I only filled like 58 of them, but it's fine because we're going to do something a little bit risky after we finish these keys because I think we'll have enough capital to do it. If you're a lower level, I don't fully recommend that you do it, but I'm assuming, again, base 60 stats, so we're probably around like 70 combat. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do after I turn in all these keys. All right, so we got the last Sinister Key open, but I wanted to do one more thing while I'm over here. So I'm going to assume when you're at this stage in your account that you're probably doing a little bit of Nightmare Zone. And what you can do with Nightmare Zone points, I promise you're going to have an excess if you do end up camping Nightmare Zone. You can do Sulfur Naguas, you can do Crab, you can do all that. But if you do end up doing Nightmare Zone, I'm just going to do this the one time. I think this is daily, but I'm just going to do it the one time for this little proof of concept here. If you go into here and get your resources, you can buy herb boxes. Like I did Nightmare Zone before Crab was a thing, before Sulfur Naguas were a thing. I just stayed in here and I did Nightmare Zone forever, so I have a bajillion points. I have however many imbues that I need, but you can also just buy these herb boxes, and you can put them directly into the bank, which I guess I'll do, but let me go sell everything and make sure I can track all of the herbs that I get from it to make sure I don't accidentally get too many and sell too many. Let us quickly go to the GE and sell this to see what our Sinister Key profit is, though. Okay, so we pulled away with 1.627 million. I left this in platinum tokens, so this is fully raw just from the herbs. And if we go over here, 1.374. So we walked away with almost 300k and 58 keys. Again, if you have huge capital, you can just leave a Sinister Key offer in overnight and open up your day with opening some Sinister Keys, and you'll rake in a bunch of money if you have very low requirements. All this realistically requires is Watchtower Quest, which is not completely necessary. You could put your house in Gielinor and just run around from there, go through the agility shortcut. There's plenty of ways to get over to Gielinor that don't require you to necessarily have the Watchtower teleport. But if you do, you'll head over there. I think this is like maybe a diary thing to go here, now that I'm thinking about it. But if you don't have the diary, you can still do this underwall tunnel, level 16 agility. It might be a diary thing as well. But again, this is like super early game stuff. Move your house here if you absolutely need to. House to the agility thing, and you can get here as well. Occasionally, you could use a Nightmare Zone home telly, I guess, if you wanted to. Like super slow every 20 minutes, you could do that. But yeah, even if you went from like Port Khazard, it's not the worst thing in the world. That's level 78 magic. I assume you would have level 58 magic. That is what we went with. Pretty easy quest to do. Let me exchange my platinum tokens here and say yes, and then let me get all of these guys into the bank and make sure I'm not going to get too many herbs. Looks like I'm not going to hit any, so perfect. A bunch of grimy stuff is just going to go into the bank. Watch this. So we're at 2497. Let's see, 2492. Sorry, not 97. I can't read because I'm dyslexic, apparently. Usually this brings in about 100k. So 2492, 2584, that's almost 100k right there. And then we have a little bit of chump change here if we want. I will go ahead and abort these, lower these all the way on down because I do not care. And we will walk away with another about 120k. Good enough for me. So we have two options here for our last little thing that I'm going to do in this first episode before we move on to the next tier, or at least add some PVMing into this, because I'm changing the rules a little bit from the intro that I made. So I'll be redoing an intro to more solidly flesh out some rules for myself. I am going to take a bit of a risk. I do not recommend you do this. You could easily stick to these safe things and just play your timer and not really, you know, be concerned with any of this. I'm going to go do my farm run, rake in the cash from that, and then I'm going to show you this little risk that we're going to take. Hold in another 134k. So the thing that we're going to do that is a bit risky, that I do not recommend you do, but I wanted to show it because it is a thing that you can do. However, if you are a safe player, I would recommend just staying safe. There's no reason to do this at all. But if you do remember, we went to the Wilderness Agility Arena and picked up a looting bag. We spent 150k to do that, and we are now going to be doing it. We're going to be using it, rather, again. What I want to purchase are Laren's keys. And we're going to be opening the big chest out by Mage Bank, and the reason this is a little risky is because we could get PK'd, and getting PK'd is bad, so we're going to be using our secret little worlds that we can find. And I'm going to not tell you what they are, because then they wouldn't be a secret anymore. No, it's not the Total Worlds. But it is a secret. And I'm hoping it doesn't bite me in the ass, but we'll see. We're going to let those move, because I need to outfit myself a little bit. If we have 60 stats, let me do a little bit of pondering about how we can get a little bit tanky so we can survive, just in case the bad guys come. Okay, just about 127k left. Exchange that for platinum. Bank that for random teleports and stuff and whatever. And bank the platinum tokens. And it's time to get a little risky. Here's the gear, dude. Check it out. Check it out. I look mean, bro. I look mean. Okay, I'm going to grab my wilderness sword. And we're just going to waddle over to Edgeville and do the thing. I had to log out 5 different times to get here. I'm not kidding. I'm so terrified. Go, 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 go. All my money on me, bro. I'm leaving it a surprise. Okay, we're out of here. An exhilarating experience. Thank you, Osworlds. No one's ever here. Okay. Let's go see what we got, shall we? I'll sell off my gear as well, because I'm not going to be using this again. Alright, time for the big reveal. Did I goob myself? Oh! I did not goob myself at all, dude. We're rich! Let me sell all this. Holy smokes! Okay, glad I took a screenshot. I got one-to-one everything. Let's sell it off. Let's plat token everything so we can get an accurate reading of how much we're going to walk away with. Okay. 3594. And if I'm not mistaken, I didn't even hit any fish. Yeah, so my 99 fishing didn't even come into play there. Yeah, I hit no fish at all, so it didn't even matter. So the profit is on our investment. Where are my keys? 2486, and we came out with 2594. And I'm not kidding. How long was that? Like 5 minutes? Maybe? Not even. I mean, I was at the chest for maybe 60 seconds, and I walked away with a mil. So if you want to do that, you can. But remember, it is a little nerve-wracking, and you're not always safe. So we have established, using very low or no requirement moneymakers, 3.85 million. And we're going to end episode 1 there, because 1, I want to get your feedback, and 2, I want to add PVM into the challenge now, and I think I just want to go ahead and move up to at least the medium tier and show you guys what we can accomplish with our established little GP that we've got here. Plenty of methods that we could do in our downtime, and so on. So I will see you in the next episode. Please do leave a comment, stick around, sub, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.